We have sent invitation through email to the following observers, and we also have to confirm that this invitation to observers sent via email dated February 16, 2026 to Attorney Eugene M. Alfaraz, Regional Coordinator of Crimes and Corruption Watch International Incorporated, and Capifornis to Mr. Carlo Batalla, President of Crimes and Corruption Watch International Incorporated, and also to Engineer Michael Salarda, President of Davao del Norte Conval Constructors Association Incorporated, and to Miss Aluna Oy for Schools Division Superintendent, DepEd Division of Tagum City, through Engineer Roque III, Malanges, DepEd Division of Tagum City. For the online viewers, including prospective bidders and observers watching us right now via live streaming on our official YouTube channel, DPWH Davao del Norte DEO Procurement LS. Don't forget to click subscribe. Once again, good day and good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. This procurement activity, the pre-bid conference on proposed 3 civil works project, of which are invitation to bid number 2025-003 for contract ID 25SC0087. The repair rehabilitation of classroom called Rosario C. Saludares Elementary School, City of Tagum, Davao del Norte. It's a re-invitation to bid. And also for invitation to bid number 2025-020 for contract ID 25SC0090, the last mile schools program, Datu Felino, Dagwaan Elementary School, Talaingod, Davao del Norte, and for contract ID 25SC0093, the last mile school program, Gupitan Integrated School, Kapalong, Davao del Norte. This pre-bid conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the procurement project, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. And BAC shall likewise discuss the common reasons for bidders' disqualifications based on the experience in previous procurement project. Accordingly, the BAC shall present and explain the ways to prevent similar occasions of disqualifications. Now, the proceedings of the pre-bid conference shall be recorded, and the corresponding minutes shall be prepared not later than 5 calendar days. The pre-bid conference shall be made available to prospective bidders not later than 5 calendar days upon the written request. So for the agenda items for discussion, a brief presentation, explanation by the BAC of the following. A, the basic contract data, including contract description, location, the approved budget for the contract, duration and source of fund, and its major category of work identified. B, the requirements of bidding documents, including invitation to bid, IB, ITB, DBS, BDS, the general conditions of the contract, the SCC, or the special conditions of contract specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and Philippine bidding related forms, and documents to be submitted by the bidders as specified in Section 54.2 of Republic Act 12009, the technical and financial proposal with its corresponding supporting documents attached. No? And criteria and procedures for eligibility check, the preliminary examination of bids, the detailed evaluation of bids, the post-qualification, deliberation recommending award, and also for the questions, comments from bidders, and replies from BAC and other representatives of the procuring entity. And also other matters, and especially on the The DPWH memorandum dated September 16, 2025, with the subject interim guidelines upon lifting of suspension on procurement activities for locally funded civil works project, signed by the Secretary Vince Dizon, stating, among others, the guidelines for strict compliance. So let's now proceed to the basic contract data, the discussions on the basic contract data. So engineers from the planning and design section who will present the proposed civil works project. Go ahead, you are recognized.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chair. This is the project name, Repair Rehabilitation of Classrooms, called Rosalio C. Saludares Elementary School, City of Tagum, Davao del Norte. The project ID is 25LC0087 and the ABC amount is 10,450,000. The contract duration is 120 calendar days and the source of fund is FY 2025 GAA BAFF. This is the project site location from our office to the project site. The sub-allotment advice, the perspective, including the building 1, 2, 3, and 11, building 4 and 5, building 6 and 7, building 9 and 10, and building number 8. The scope of works related to the CR for all units, the kitchen sink except building number 11, the ceiling works for all units, carpentry cabinet for building 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 8. This is except building number 11. The carpentry for the blackboard for the building 9 and 10. The jealousy except the building number 4 and 5. The grills for all the units. The repainting works for all the buildings. The tiling works inside the classroom for building 1, 2, and 1 to 3 and 11, building 9, 10, and building number 8. The flush doors for the CR, the flashing and gutters for all the units, the roofing and ridge roll, the lighting and ventilation for all the ventilation ceiling fan for all the units, septic vault, and the last one is the solar panel. This is the geotag photos. And this is the geotag, the plan, and then the scope of works for the building 4 and 5, including the CR, kitchen sink, ceiling works, grills, repainting works, doors, cabinets, flashing and gutters, lighting and ventilation, and septic vault. And then in the principal's office, only the solar panel will be located and the fire alarm system. Next slide, please. For the building 1, 2, 3, and 11, including the CR, the kitchen sink, except the kitchen sink in building number 11, the ceiling, the floor tiling and repainting works, the geloso windows, the doors for the CR, the cabinets, except in building number 11, the flashing, the gutter for building 1, 2, 3, and 11, the roofing and ridge roll only for building 3 and 11, then the lighting and then the ventilation. Building 6 and 7 for the CR, the kitchen sink, the ceiling works, the jealousy windows and grills, the doors for the CR, the cabinets, the flashing and the gutters, the roofing and the ridge roll, the lighting, ventilation equipment, and repainting works. And then for building 9 and 10, The CR also, the kitchen sink, the ceiling, the floor tiling works, the jealousy windows and grills, the doors in the CR, the masonry, including the cement, plaster, and painting. We have this partition. Then the cabinet, the blackboards, the repainting works, the roofing, and the flashing and gutter, the lighting, and the ventilation. And the building number 8, the CR, the kitchen sink, again, the ceiling and the floor tiling works, the jealous windows, the doors, the cabinets, the flashing and gutter, then the roofing, the repainting works, the lighting and ventilation, and in the septic vault, nga nag-share siya sa building number 9 and 10. So this is our Annex A. So ang last sa pre-con, ang kalainan lang ani niya kung ato siyang i-summarize diretso, nagbago lang ang ato ang painting works o ang ato ang roofing works. But before that, ang atong part B, ang other general requirements, so nag-include na siya og permits and clearances, project billboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization. Then sa part C, sa earthwork, natay removal of structures, structure excavation, embankment from barrow, and gravel fill. Parehas na siya sa previous, sa pre-con o quantity. And then sa reinforced concrete, the same lang po gihapon. So mo niya nga to ang class B nga structural concrete, class A ang ato ang grade 40 and grade 60. Og ang atong formworks and false work na siya difference because sa ato ang painting works. Sa atong part E, ang finishing and sanitary and other civil works, we have CHB nga ang mga thickness are 100 and 150 mm thick. Then sa atong finishing works, we have glazed. We have tiles that are glazed and unglazed. So cement plaster, ceiling, carpentry and joinery, katong cabinets, air vent and blackboards, then window accessories, then geloso window. Sa atong painting, so complete, ang ato ang masonry and concrete, wood and steel. Then sa atong roofing, ang roofing nato, due to sa katong difference sa ato ang material rates, mo to nga mas ni-increase siya. Ang wala lay roofing ani niya, ang ato ang building number 1 and 2. Yes. Then sa ato ang doors, frames niya, and finishing hardwares. Complete po ang ato ang plumbing and sanitary works. O ang last one, ang part F o ang part G. So ang part F, ang atong electrical works, then ang ato ang part G, ang atong mechanical works. Sa atong electrical works, akong balikon, natay solar panel. Muna atong validation sheet. Then PPMP. Next slide, please. Ang atong APP. Then CEA. That's all and thank you.
Okay, for information, this is a rebid or an invitation to bid. Any concern from the previous discussion on this na by changes to
Katulang sa painting o sa roofing, ma'am, kay due to sa ato ang material rate, so nag-increase siya, quantity.
items involved?
Excuse me, pero sa imong gipost as is na ni siya. So walay changes ta. Kay newly man eh.
Sa katong gihatag.
Oh, ikuha na to ni ha,
Wala,
newly
wala.
ni ha.
Matong nalibog mi, ma'am.
Wala. Wala.
So no changes involved.
Wala.
So, wala changes
Wala,
sa atong gipost.
Wala,
Okay
ma'am.
po. Noted, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other information as to the first track ID? Hearing none. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Next.
Welcome.
Contract ID 25 25 SC 0090.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. For Last Mile Schools Program, 25 LC 0090. Contact name, Last Mile Schools Program, Datu, Felino, Dagwaan, Elementary School, Talaingod, Davao del Norte. With an ABC of 24 million, with a contract duration of 200 calendar days under FY 2025 RA 12116 GAA PEFF. Next slide. So this is our perspective. This is one story for classrooms. For our location map, as you can see, the project site is on that red shaded part, and we have a 4.2 kilometer rough road, which will which will have manual hauling for the materials. Next. So for the site development plan, this is a proposed one story for classroom. The red part, as you can see, naapod siya ay concrete canal with steel grating. Diha nga portion. Panaog na siya. Next. For the site condition, this yellow hatch here is the cut section. So meaning bungtod na di nga portion. Then sa red nga hatch is fill section. Meaning diha ang mas gamay nga elevation. So need na tuog kanang tambak. Next. Okay, for the section na siya, ang yellow nga part is the cut section. So bungtod na siya nga part. Then pag abot sa may tunga natay i-fill. Pero ang ato ang poste sa dira sa fill section, ang excavation is mag-start gyud siya gikan sa original na ground para sa atong footing. Meaning mataas ato ang footing sa diha nga portion. Next. So this is our site. So you can see na existing na building sa left side na picture. Then ang atong site ana is padulong sa, kung nagtan-aw mo diha, padulong sa imuha na. So sa right side pod is padulong sa left side ang ato ang building. And then this one, so kani nga part dito ni siya sa tumoy-tumoy sa building, gikan ato ang existing na school building na dira atong site sa tumoy. So kani mas bubo ni elevation diri na. Next. Yan. So this is the site. Next. For the site validation, as you can see, gibutang diri nga double hauling sa left side na picture. Double hauling is yes. Nakabutang po diya is 4.2 kilometers from Sitio Lumabag. So mauna siya ang starting point sa ato ang manual hauling Sitio Lumabag. 4.2 kilometers na siya padulong sa site. Then no source of electricity. Then rainwater lang po ang ilang tubig. Yan. Next. For the proof of ownership, ang ilang submit is kasabutan sa paggamit sa Luna or Yuta. Okay, naka-address na siya sa DepEd. Girepresentahan ni Dr. Josephine L. Padul, the Schools Division Superintendent. And we have also signed by the provincial officer and the municipal mayor of Talaingod. Next. So the floor plan, for classroom, nasa right side ang ato ang ramp, then sa left side ang ato ang CR. Next. Yan, muna ang ato ang elevation. Next po. For the PPMP, number 6, nasa sa number 6, sa kaning left side na picture. Then also, kanang the shaded blue part diha, muna siya. Ang kuha niya is, balik ng sa down. Sa, the quantity and size of the project, no? Kita ninyo, 4 classrooms sa third column. Next, sir. For the Annex B, we have the certification para sa kuha na siya, certification nga igamit nato ang CMPD nga special issuance dated October 30, 2025. Next. For the SAA, we have SAA, sub-allotment advice. Then for the summary of quantities, so for the part A, we have facilities for engineer. We have provisions of furnitures and equipments, appliances for the field office for engineer. So, mo na siya ang sa remarks is na siya desktop isa o isa ka printer. So, mo na siya ang ato ang specs sa ato ang desktop. And for the ikaduha is the construction of combined field office and living quarters building for the engineer. Mainly bahay kubo na siya. Part B, we have permits and clearances, project billboard, occupancy, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization. Next. Part C, earthworks, we have clearing and grubbing, structure excavation, embankment from roadway excavation, embankment from barrow, and we have gravel fill. So, excavation due to uneven terrain. So, moto ganihan na natay ikat. Then, ang embankment is due to uneven terrain gihapon siya. So, ang atong gikat is i-fill na to. For the part D, we have reinforced concrete, structural concrete. We have 3,000 PSI and 4,000 PSI. Also, reinforcing steel, grade 40 and 60, and formworks and false works. Next. And for the finishing and other civil works, you have CHB non-load bearing, 100 mm and 150 mm, glazed tiles, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish. For the ceiling works, we have PVC ceiling panels on metal frame, also blackboard and air vent. We have railings sa atong rampa, painting works for masonry, wood, and steel, and waterproofing. Next. Okay, for we have also ridge roll, flashing, pre-painted metal sheets, corrugated long span. So, muna tong atop. Then, structural steel, trusses and purlins, metal structure accessories, which is bolt, turnbuckle, cross bracing, steel plates, and sagrads. And we have also door frames, doors, wood panel doors, hollow steel door, roll-up door, jalousie window, glass nga jalousie window, and window grills, and aluminum glass windows, fixed type. Next po. Finishing hardware, and for the sanitary, we have sewer line works, concrete canal, which is 21 linear meter, and cold water lines, storm drainage and downspouts, plumbing fixtures, septic bolt, catch basin. We have also catch basin. Then for the electrical works, conduits, boxes and fittings, wires and devices, panel boards and main branch breakers, solar panel with inverter, and battery and other devices. You have lighting fixtures. Next. Also we have generator but rental basis na siya. Para sa pagtrabaho sa ato ang mga trusses or welding works. Then for the mechanical works, ventilating equipments, which is the wall fans and ceiling fans, and also water tank, stainless na siyang water tank, and fire extinguisher, and fire alarm system. So that would be the summary of quantities. And that's the presentation po.
Query on item 800, close parenthesis 1.
Okay.
Since ang project is cut and fill, sa may i-clearing and i-grab nimo? Sa may ito ang i-clear and grab?
For the kuan lang na sir. For the bushes and kuan sir. Na may gamay-gamay nga mga
Di na madala dito sa pakibalik daw sa perspective nimo sa drawings. Next slide. Kana. So since nga cut then fill, sa pa may gamit na to sa pa may i-clear, sa pa i-grab. Ano? Pwede na siguro mawala, no? Kaya ka nga amount, muran ba og 50,000 or 100,000? Ma-fall ba? I mean, unsay inyo hang kuan, no? Pero sa kuha, pwede siguro mawala nga item kay sa cut and fill nimo. Murag masulod naman tong kay may yung kag i-clearing and grabbing shrubs, butantang gagmay, murag mga ipil-ipil, pero tanaw to sa geotag, murag carabao grass man lang ang narida. I mean, being the estimator at least. Di man po siya ma-question sa design audit kung wala ang 800.
dili man po sir.
Okay? Sige.
Okay sir. Noted po sir.
Diba, sa imuhang take, Sir Taying. Ha? Mga gani, no? I mean, kanang mga bitaw. Amount mapugod na. Okay? Sige.
Okay sir. Noted po sir. Yes sir. SBB, pwede pa ano? Actually sir, katong kuan kay need gid siya SBB. Kay kuan sir, due to atong generator. Last time naman gud siya
Based
generator na
on kuan ani nimo nga explanation, natay propose nga supplemental bulletin.
Yes sir.
Yes, Mr. Chair. As per checking po sa iyahang bill of quantities na siya yung mga discrepancies po.
Sir, nauna man gud ni siya sir. Katong kuan. Katong last time lang na murag na desisyonan tong ipatanggal tong genset.
Yeah, there is a proposed supplemental bulletin today.
Mr. Chair, mga tana lang po unta ko sa generator if rental ba jud siya.
Rental na siya, ma'am.
Kay sa PSMA man good sir, wala yung nakabutang nga rental pero i-clarify lang po naka dito.
Ah.
Kay same ko ano man good siya. Item number.
Wala dyan siya nakabutang. Pero rental
I-plus
lang
daw
ang
ang
butang.
item support. I-plus daw ang item support. Sa tumbang.
Next. Sa tumoy, sir. Na, ito.
Ay, period man. Ayan. Well, yang end niya
Sa kuan, sir. DO60 is kuan gud siya, wala siya rental. Pero wala may other items good sir nga for rental of generator.
Pwede ba siya sa equipment mabutang sir? Sa equipment na lang siya
Equipment.
Mm-mm.
O sa equipment na mo gibutang ang generator.
Ang item, pwede na walaon siya. Sa equipment na lang siya ibutang ang
Sa
generator.
equipments.
item 1102 generator single phase or three phase standby rental basis. Nakalagay dia item, di ba? Pero kung sa gamit siya para sa welding works dito sa steelworks.
Yes sir, para sa steelworks.
So, I think dili siya item, masulod siya dito sa equipment requirements sa steelworks. Mura ba og equipment requirement dump truck and genset. Dili siya item kay kung item siya, ibig sabihin in place na siya madugay, no? Do ang imuhang ibutang is rental basis. Sa may sa inyo kung mag-genset mo.
Dito sa, Mr. Chair, sa atong item na ba na di item na steelworks, ana?
Na sir.
Dito sa iyang dupa sa halimbawa sa steelworks, wala ba ditoy genset nga murag automatic subsidiary siya sa steelworks.
Wala sir.
Di ba naa mo na?
Wala sir. Sa naka-standard man gud sa dupa sir.
Sa may sa dupa nga mag-welding ka, nya wala mo butang genset or something ana or magdungog data dito genset para sa iyang gamiton inig welding.
Yes sir. Dili sir, kay standard naman to. Wala lang kung amo ang kuanan sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. How about siyempre naman tayo equipment? Matabo man gud ang equipment ani through subsidiary naman gud ni sa contractor. So dili na nato i-add on diri sa atong dupa ang generator. Ang kini i-add on na nato ni dito sa equipment. Kay ma-justify man gyapon kay wa man gud tay generator equipment pero dito na nato ibutang sa equipment. Kay example, pare atong gi-explain ni chairman nga natay tractor na mga kuan dito mo na para sa kontraktor nga in lieu sa iyahang kuan kakulangan dito sa site since ang site wala man guni kurente so pwede ra nato ni instead nga i-item number nato ni dito i-add on na lang nato ni sa equipment.
Pwede sir, ngita na nataglamsam na item sir.
Oh, dito na lang sa equipment kay kung
Para
diri man gud
makadungag
tingali pangitaon na pod gani ipabilin. May tabo ani makita man gud ni sa kuan pabilin nila dito sa kanya although rental basis ato ang kanya wala man gud tay item number pod ani sa lupa. Dito ra nato ni butang sa equipment. Wala toy pinaka kuan siguro if agreed.
Okay sir. Kato ang noted to imong gisulti sir. So kani mangita na lang mig lump sum na item sir which is maka-insert ta dito sa para sa ang generator, insert nato sa equipment para sa steelworks. So, ma-change yun ang item number o kwan para sa sa steelworks.
Any other? Hannah, meron ka pang query about?
Wala na, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So let's proceed now to 25 SC 0093.
Good morning, everyone. For the contract ID 25LC 0093, Last Mile Schools Program, Gupitan Integrated School, Kapalong, Davao del Norte, an ABC of 18 million and a contract duration of 170 calendar days under FY 2025 GAA BEFF. So this is the location of the site. So approximately from our office, it is about 70 kilometers away. So the Gupitan Integrated School or Gupitan Central Elementary School. So these are the geotag photos. So the site is located in the vegetative area of the school where is their gulayan is located. So in front of the old building. So these are our geotag photos for the site. And this is our site validation sheet wherein we can see that the proposed area is inside the school premises and the site has no problem since it is a flat terrain. So this is the perspective of the project. The floor plan. So the area would be about 43.5 by 9.5. So this is a 1-story 3-classroom. And one side of the classroom, one side of the building is the CR, and the other side is the utility room and the ramp. This is the site development plan. This is also an example for our signage, which will be installed for this project. So existing ang gate, but we will put a signages for the school. The design po, sir. Kita po, sir. This can be search sir, online sa ilang information po.
Actually, sir, ni come up mi ani para matanggal na tong arko-arko gani, sir. Kaya wala man po specific kung unsa kadakon ang ilahang kadakon ang ilahang ibutang sa ilang ID. So ang gihimo na mo nag-search na lang ang among nga designer through kung unsa kadako sa lettering na kuan nila. Ang importante ani ang school ID mabutang ug ang name sa school. So mo ni among butang kay makita man gud namo sa mga ongoing karon nga school kanang naay mga arko-arko mao gani gusto nila sa mga kinaraan. So kung mosulod ang mga dagkong truck maguba lang gyapon so diri na mo gibutang sa gilid. So mo na kuan na sir, mo na sir among nakita sa kuan pabutang. Sige sir, ay inform lang namo po ni si engineer ani kung unsa jud nila unsa kadakon nila mga brass or materyales nga kan kay minaw na mo every municipality ata na ilain-lain. Yes sir. Mm. Mm. Ah. Sige sir, noted noted.
Yes po, sir. Noted po, sir. And these are the minimum equipment requirement for this project. As for the summary of quantities, we have Part A, facilities for engineer. This includes the provision for furnitures, equipment, and appliances for field office for the engineer. So the remark should be one desktop with its corresponding specs as presented. We also have one UPS, one printer for A3 and A4. For item construction of combined field office and living quarters building for the engineer. So the remark should be bahay kubo. For Part B, we have other general requirements. So we have items for permits and clearances, project billboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization, as well as the signages near the existing gate. For Part C, we have earthworks, which includes structural excavation, embankment from roadway, and embankment from common barrow since the project is elevated to 1 meter high. So there is a need for another embankment from barrow, gravel fill. For Part D, we have reinforced concrete with items included structural concrete, Class B and Class A, reinforcing steel bar, grade 40 and grade 60, and formworks and false works. For Part E, we have finishing, sanitary, and other civil works. For the masonry works, we have 100 mm CHB for the interior walls and 150 mm CHB for exterior walls. For finishing works, we have glaze and glaze tiles, cement plaster finish, carpentry and joinery works for PVC ceiling panels on metal frame, the blackboards and air vents, and for the railings for our ramp. For the painting works of masonry, wood, and steel, waterproofing for our reinforced concrete gutter, roof framing and roofing works with items for the ridge roll flashing, our corrugated metal sheets, structural steel such as trusses, purlins, and its metal structure accessories such as bolts, rods, and etc. For the fabricated materials, we have frames, roll-up doors, which is located in the utility room, doors such as wood panels, hollow steel door, jalousie windows with window grills, aluminum glass windows fixed type for our windows and its finishing hardware. For our plumbing works, we have items for its sewer line and cold water lines, as well as storm drainage and downspout, including the plumbing fixtures, septic vault, catch basin, and the concrete canal, which is a steel grating canal. For Part F, we have complete electrical works for its wires and wirings devices, the fittings, panel boards, lighting fixtures, as well as the solar panel with inverter. And Part G, we have mechanical works items for ventilating equipment, which includes the ceiling fans, water tank na stainless, fire extinguisher, and fire alarm system with the fire alarm system including fire alarm bell, smoke detector, and its control panel. And this is the proof of ownership that we have received from the school. So this is a tax declaration as well as a deed of donation. The PPMP, this was presented last pre-procurement. The APP and the certificates for the CAA as well as the certificate for the CMPD. And that would be all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any query from the implementing office?
Mr. Chair, naagya po yung mga discrepancies sa bill of quantities.
Yes po, ma'am. Since last time po, nag-include po tong item for generator, but upon verification po, the site has no problem with the water utilities as well as the electrical, so it was excluded na po.
Okay po.
Sir? Yes po, sir.
Okay po, Mr. Chair, noted na po.
Is there any supplemental bulletin to be issued?
Yes po, sir.
Meron.
Meron, sir.
What is specific?
Sa iyahang generator, Mr. Chair, ma-delete na siya. Then, sa iyahang earthworks, naapod siya yung mga nautro. Then, naad pod ang kanal, concrete canal.
And signages.
Okay, so
And
please prepare and be aware for the publication or the posting of the supplemental bid. Okay. So any other? Hearing none. Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. So let's proceed now to the requirements of the bidding documents and documents to be submitted by the bidders, and also for the criteria for eligibility check. Go ahead, Back Secretariat.
So the requirements of bidding documents, including invitation to bid, instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and Philippine bidding documents related forms. The bidding documents were posted in the DPWH website and PhilJeps. Amendments in the provision of the bidding documents shall be issued through a supplemental bid bulletin and will be posted in the bid bulletin and notices. Documents to be submitted by the bidder, technical and financial proposals. Bids must be duly received by the procuring entities back at kilometer 48, Barangay Canocotan, Tagum City, Davao del Norte for manual submission, or at electronic bid _ Davao del Norte at dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission. Bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. For electronic submission, prior to the deadline of submission of bids, the prospective bidder shall send an email attaching the copy of the official receipt of purchase of bidding documents in portable document file or PDF format. Only the electronic bids of bidders who have successfully submitted an electronic official receipt shall be accepted. Prospective bidders shall prepare their bids in 2 file folders in appropriate documents and file format, each for the technical and financial components. Only during the actual opening of bid shall the bidder disclose the passwords for his electronic bid. This can be done by the bidder's authorized representative verbally in person, through phone call, online platforms, or through writing. For joint venture, The format of PCAB ID to be used by the bidder in naming their files shall be the PCAB ID of the lead member. The step-by-step detailed procedure of electronic submission is stipulated in the bidding documents clause 22 and the Department Order 87 series of 2020. Also included in the department order are the steps for the modification of an electronic bid, non-participation in the bidding, withdrawal of electronic bid, and proper email subject and the file name for each file to be submitted to the designated email address. For the technical proposal, field job certificate of registration or the platinum membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR. PCAB license and registration in case of joint venture. Statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's SLCC in accordance with ITB Clause 5-5. The single largest completed contract shall be supported by an owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. The net financial contracting capacity computation in accordance with ITB Clause 5-6. Joint venture agreement, if applicable, which requires special PCAB license and registration with percentage of the two contractors. The bid security is prescribed form, amount, and valid period. The bidder at its option shall submit a bid security in the form of a bid securing declaration of any of the following: the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cash, the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cashier's check, the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in manager's check, and the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if surety bond. In case of extension of bid validity and bid security validity period, substitution of the bid security form is allowed. Bid securing declaration and the following forms may be used: cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. Bid shall remain valid for the period specified in the BDS, which shall not exceed 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Should it become necessary to extend the validity of the bids and the bid securities beyond 120 calendar days, the procuring entity concerned shall request in writing all those who submitted bids for such extension before the expiration date, therefore. Any discrepancy in the amount, even a centavo, means non-compliant. Project requirements, which shall include the following: the organizational chart of the personnel to be deployed for the procurement project to be bid, list of contractors' personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineer, and foremen, to be assigned to the procurement project to be bid, with their complete qualifications and experience data. These personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the BDS. As per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, if a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working in another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded a contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. The said certification shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. As per Department Order Number 252, Series of 2025, issued by the Department of Labor and Employment, Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation, a Republic Act Number 11058, entitled An Act Strengthening Compliance with Occupational Safety and Health Standards and Providing Penalties for Violations thereof, under Section 10, Safety in the Use of Equipment to quote, Operators shall undergo appropriate training and certification from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA, the Professional Regulation Commission, or other relevant government agencies before using the equipment. The DOLE may recognize training provided by equipment manufacturers, suppliers, or international organizations if it is not available locally. Accredited Safety Officer requirements for approval of construction and safety and health program required upon issuance of notice of award in compliance with DOLE Department Order Number 252 Series of 2025 under Section 22 Occupational Safety and Health Standards for the Construction Industry. First aider with certificate of training issued by Philippine Red Cross or an organization authorized by the Secretary of Labor and Employment. Requirements for the approval of construction safety and health program required upon issuance of notice of award. In compliance with DOLE Department Order Number 252 Series of 2025 under Section 22 Occupational Safety and Health Standards for the Construction Industry. The list of contractors' major equipment unit which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreement, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be, which must be meet the minimum requirements for the contract set in the BDS. As per Department Order 58, Series of 2012, all prospective bidders are mandated to state in their bid documents a complete technical description of their pledged equipment, whether owned or leased, such as but not limited to the engine number, year model, chassis number, plate number, production capacity, and load capacity. In addition, the prospective bidders should also be required to state in their bid documents the particular place or site where the equipment are located as provided for under Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. If any piece of equipment is not in the location, then the bidder shall be post disqualified. Failure of a prospective bidder to comply with the said requirement shall result in the bidder's automatic post disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per Department Order 11 Series of 2017. Pursuant to Department Order Number 171 Series of 2025, Guidelines on the use of DPWH Performance Evaluation System for Constructors, Consultants, and Supplier, Department of Public Works and Highways recognizes the necessity of institutionalizing formal performance evaluation systems for all types of procurement to ensure that past and ongoing performance records are consistently considered in critical stages of procurement and contract management. At the eligibility stage pursuant to Section 54-4-2-5 of the IRR for infrastructure projects, bidders shall submit proof of satisfactory past performance, such as CPES rating of at least satisfactory or an owner's certificate of final acceptance or equivalent for private sector contracts. Bidders must ensure to the adherence to the Department Order 110 Series of 2024 for the implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. Hence, bidders must attach to the technical envelope their ISO 9001-2015 certification. Failure to attach will be disqualified for their bid. Pursuant to Department Order 169 Series of 2025, only accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects. Omnibus sworn statement in accordance with Section 54-3 of the IRR-11 items. To ensure compliance with Section 82 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act Number 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, on the declaration of beneficial ownership, all bidders are mandatory to submit the following documents: latest General Information Sheet, or GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission for corporations, and sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership following the template attached as Annex A for all bidders, including sole proprietorship. Accordingly, all are hereby directed to ensure that each bidder's GIS reflecting the BOI duly submitted to the SEC is maintained valid and updated in the PhilJEP's registration as part of their eligibility, and further to require mandatory submission of the same and the sworn affidavit in their bid. See attached Annex B. For the financial proposal, financial bid form, bid prices, bill of quantities in accordance with IATB clauses 13-1. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated, otherwise it will be rated as failed. Bidders shall enclose their technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component, and the financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them all in outer envelope marked bid, and bid's proposal must be in A4 size. Further, the authorized liaison officer will be the one to drop the bids. Bids submitted through courier will not be accepted. Bidders shall submit 2 original copies and 1 copy of certified true copies of the technical and financial components of the bid. The original of the bid shall be typed or written in ink and limited to 2 decimal places in amount, and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. All envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed to the procuring entity's back in accordance with IATB Clause 18-1, bear the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the IATB Clause 1-1, and bear a warning: do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids in accordance with IATB Clause 19. The bidders are also advised to be responsible on their bids submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposal should have proper tabbing in words based on the order in the checklist, including proper sequencing of documents in chronological order. Further, bidders were advised not to recycle legal documents or documents attached in the previous submission of bids which have the signatures and countersigns of the back members. Late bids submitted will not be accepted. All forms as mentioned in ITB Clause 17-1 must be completed without any alterations to their format. No substitute form shall be accepted. Each and every page of the bid form, including the bill of quantities under Section 9 hereof, shall be signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Failure to do so shall be a ground for the rejection of the bid. Any insertions, erasures, or overwriting shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Bidders with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded for the contract. All bid documents are still subject to detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days after the bidding to file for a motion for reconsideration. The criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bid, detailed evaluation of bid, post-qualification, deliberation, recommending award, and award. After determining the names of the bidders that submitted bids for the contract at hand, The BAC, assisted by the BAC Secretariat, shall check if each bidder that submitted bid is eligible to bid for the contract being procured. This shall be done electronically using the DPWH CWA. The BAC Secretariat shall enter into the CWA the pickup license number and or name of the bidder. The CWA program will then electronically process and match the bidder's capability or eligibility data in the CWA. The computer program will automatically determine if the bidder meets the following eligibility requirements. The cost of the bidder's SLCC is at least 50% of the ABC of the project to be procured. The bidder's NFCC is at least equal to ABC of the project to be procured. The program may also automatically generate the result of the eligibility check. The reason for ineligibility will also be automatically shown in the notices of ineligibility. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IIR, otherwise known as the new Government Procurement Act. This office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. The procuring entity will undertake the detailed evaluation and comparison of the bids which have passed the opening and preliminary examination of bids pursuant to ITB Clause 22 to determine the lowest calculated bid. Lowest calculated responsive bid is the award criterion. The same will be applied to detailed checking or evaluation of the technical proposal. Then the bidder rated as the lowest calculated bid will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders found to have conflicting interests shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement at hand, without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All prospective bidders shall be required to submit a sworn disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership clearly identifying the natural persons who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly through shareholding, voting rights, contractual agreements, or other means of control. Failure to comply shall be a ground for the automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IRR. For the post-qualification, the bidders are advised to read Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process. As per the said department order, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or at least 10% in two or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 days and to complete them within 30 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies, or failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificate of acceptance within 30 days and to complete the works within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection, or liquidated damages currently imposed on the contractor. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, we will be sending you a letter being the lowest calculated responsive bid. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process as per Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018. The BAC, with the assistance of the Equipment Verification Team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of the post-qualification as per Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018. The Equipment Verification Team will conduct an inspection on the verification of the equipment pledged by the contractor. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any other information? Procurement Secretariat? Hearing none. Okay, so that's all for this pre-bid conference. Now, the Bids and Awards Committee for this pre-bid conference is now adjourned. Thank you. Okay, before we adjourn this pre-bid conference, there is one information to be given on the timelines and also for the uh, recognition of the viewers from our YouTube channel. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, this is always a reminder to our prospective bidders that their bid documents must follow the completeness and sufficiency of the bid. The discounts offered should be clearly and legibly written with signatures so that the back will be able to read it during the opening of bids. Contractors are not allowed to follow up their bids during evaluation period until the issuance of the notice of award, unless the back in writing request for clarification of its bids. The no contact role policy will be strictly observed. Whatever submitted during the drafting of bids will be evaluated. Submission of lacking or another document is not allowed. If there are any changes in the basic contract data of these projects, kindly closely check and monitor the DPWH and PhilJEP's websites for information and guidance regarding bid bulletin, and also if there are amendments to the bidding documents of these projects and all other notices, example, postponement or re-advertisement. There will be a possible supplemental bulletin of these projects, Mr. Chair, in our DPWH websites and PhilJEPs, posting made available up to March 3, 2026. And the possible opening of bids will be on March 10, 2026 at 10 a.m. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. There are 54 views, 4 concurrent viewers, and there is no comment, Mr. Chair.
With that given information, that's all for this pre-bid conference. And the Bids and Awards Committee for this pre-bid conference is now adjourned. So let's now proceed to the second procurement activity agenda for this morning. The opening of bids for goods. So he has scheduled one RFQ. So again, this is a continuing activity. So the quorum is established, and hereby the Bids and Awards Committee is called to order. So let's now proceed. May I request a back member with the assistance of the back technical working group and back sec to open the bid box and conduct preliminary examination of bid. We have one RFQ, the request for quotation number 2025 -12-0771, the purchase of fuel to be used for the conduct of various maintenance activities along national roads and bridges within the first legislative district of Davao del Norte, with an approved budget for the contract ABC of 1,999,838.68 centavos. Okay. Now, citing some provisions of the Republic Act 12009, the preliminary examination of bids, the box shall open the first bid envelopes in the public to determine its bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the eligibility and technical requirements as prescribed in this IRR. For this purpose, the box shall check the submitted documents to ascertain if they are all present using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as stated in the instruction to bidders. If a bidder submitted the required document, it shall be rated pass for that particular requirements. If in this regard, bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Otherwise, the box shall rate the first bid envelope as pass. If ready, proceed with the opening of the first envelope containing the eligibility documents and technical proposal and conduct preliminary examination of bid. Proceed.
Mr. Chair, we have only one RFQ number 2025-12-0071 and a lone bidder, JM Phoenix Station. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Proceed.
DTI Business Name Registration, RSEC Registration Certificate, or CDA for cooperatives.
Present.
Valid and current mayor's permit and municipal license.
Present.
Tax clearance per Executive Order Number 398, Series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the BIR.
Tax clearance certificate. Present.
PhilJEP's Platinum membership.
PhilJIPS Platinum. Present.
Omnibus sworn statement revised in the form prescribed by GPPB, 11 items.
Omnibus sworn statement. Present.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, JM Phoenix Station submitted their eligibility and technical components for RFQ number 2025-12-0071.
The preliminary evaluation on the eligibility and technical proposal of the loan bidder, GM Phoenix Station, rated pass. Proceed with the opening of its financial proposal and conduct preliminary examination.
Amount. Amount lang yun, sir. Reading ang amount. Ah, eligibility ang technical components man ang gibutang. Ah. Lahi na financial. Mm. Ah. Diba, reading. Sa proposal ng amount na lang sa financial components ko ba? RFQ amount na lang. Eligibility ang technical. Reading of finance. Next time. So next time.
So let's proceed with the reading of the offered bid amount of the loan bidder, GM Phoenix Station.
Yes, Mr. Chair, for RFQ number 2025-120071, GM Phoenix Station, the bid amount offered is 1,998,797 pesos and 50 centavos. Again, 1,998,797 pesos and 50 centavos. And it's below the ABC, Mr. Chair.
For RFQ number 2025-120071, the loan bidder, GM Phoenix Station, offered an amount below the approved budget for the contract. Next.
That's all, Mr. Chair, for only one RFQ.
So that's all for the preliminary evaluation and reading of bids. Back members, any other information, query, discussion? The chair has none. Any other information?
Mr. Chair, for information and guidance, as always, a reminder for the bidders that the committee would like to remind that being the bidders with a single bid as read is not a guarantee to be awarded for the contract, since all bid documents are still subject for a detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared as single calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. As stated in the Philippine Bidding Documents, Clause 23.1, member of the BAC, its staff and personnel, secretariat, and TWG, as well as observers are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of the bids until the issuance of the notice of award, unless otherwise allowed in the case of ITB Clause 24. For the Clause 23.2, any effort by a bidder to influence the procuring entity in the procuring entity's decisions in respect of bid evaluation, bid comparison, or contract award will result in the rejection of the bid. ITB Clause 24, to assist in the evaluation, comparison, and post-qualification of the bids, the procuring entity may ask in writing any bidder for a clarification of its bids. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. Any clarification submitted by a bidder in respect to its bid that is not in response to the request of the procuring entity shall not be considered. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other information? Hearing none, any motion for the adjournment of this proceeding?
Mr. Chair, I move for the adjournment of this proceeding.
The Bids and Awards Committee is now adjourned. Thank you for your time and presence.